Hello dear students, today we are going to discuss about the cost of preference shares. So far we discussed cost of equity and we have worked out problem under both the methods, dividend yield and dividend growth method. Now today we are going to discuss about the cost of preference shares and we are about to solve problems under cost of preference shares. Now, from the point of view of a firm or a business or a company, preference shares are far better than the equity shares. Why they are better? Okay, so better than equity shares. They are the better option. Why they are better? Because in the case of preference shares, they carry a fixed rate of dividend. In the case of preference shares, the rate of dividend is fixed every year at a fixed rate. Firm we're going to reward the holders of preference shares. But in the case of equity shares, the case is not so. So here the rate of dividend for the equity shareholders will vary from year to year. Whenever the firm earns a high rate of profit or whenever a firm earns high profits, in that situation, firm needs to declare high rate of dividend. But in the case of preference shares, even if the firm is earning or even if the firm earns a higher profit, the firm need not declare high rate of dividend because in the very beginning itself the dividend rate will be fixed for the preference shares. So this is one advantage which is a preference shares are having over the equity shares, and they are treated as far better options than the equity shares. And the second thing, second advantage that preference shares are having over equity shares for the firm is, so there is no obligation on payment of dividend. Okay, no obligation for payment of dividend. Whenever a firm earns profit, then only they can declare a dividend. Okay, but in the case of equity shares, even if dividend is not declared, the equity shareholders they expect some sort of capitalization for their investment. So always there is some sort of expectation from the equity shareholders towards the business. But in the case of preference shareholders, when the firm earns profit, then only a firm can declare a dividend. So whenever the firm is in loss, in that situation there is no obligation to pay the dividend. And especially if the especially this is so in the case of non-cumulative preference shareholders. Even if the case of cumulative preference shareholders, then there is no worry at all. So whenever a firm earns profit during those years only or during that time only, a firm can pay a dividend. And even preference shares are termed to be better options than debentures or bonds. But one drawback that the preference shares are having over debentures and bonds is preference shares uh, payment of a preferential dividend won't provide any deduction from taxes. That means the taxation provisions won't consider preferential payment of preference dividend as business expenditure. So the payment of dividend to preference shareholders won't give any tax protection. But in the case of debentures and bonds, any interest paid, so that will be considered as uh, business expenditure, and this is the one of the drawback that preference shares are having. But except from this one drawback, all other points are in favor of preference shares. and usually issue of preference shares will be considered as the best and better option. Now here cost of preference shares will be calculated in two ways. So first, cost of irredeemable preference shares. Irredeemable preference shares and cost of redeemable preferences. So these are all the two types, so upon which we are going to solve problems. Now first we'll consider irredeemable preferences. The cost of irredeemable preferences will be calculated like the cost of equity. Okay, cost of equity under dividend yield method. Now here the formula is same like the dividend yield method. KP is nothing but cost of preference shares, D is dividend per share, and P is net proceeds per share. Now here P is not market price, it is net proceeds. Why so? Because usually preference shares are not listed in the stock exchange. Okay, only listed in the sense preference shares are not traded in the stock exchange. Okay, only equity shares are traded. Usually the equity shares only traded and not preference shares. So here we have to consider only net proceeds, and D is, D stands for dividend per share, and if we multiply by 100 we'll be getting the rate of or cost of preference shares. Now again, in the case of net proceeds, computation of net proceeds, we have to follow uh, the method which we used to follow for unlisted companies. That means total proceeds. Okay, total proceeds minus issue expenses, that amounts to the net proceeds. Okay, so this thing you have to be keep it in mind while solving the problem. So simple, everything is simple. We'll see some of the problems under this method. Okay, now the problem is like this. Zen Motor Zen Motors Limited issued 12% irredeemable preference shares of rupees 100 each on 15/6/2004. Calculate the cost of preference shares if it is at par, at a discount of 10%, and at a premium of 20%. Now, the problem is simple. You can expect this problem for 6 marks. We have to calculate at par, at a discount, and at a premium. Now, the D usually calculated on the face value of shares. Okay, on the face value. Now here D is nothing but the dividend per share, and the rate of dividend, it is given here 12%, right? So 12% irredeemable preference shares means, so this 12% is the rate of dividend, and all the three cases the rate of dividend stands same, so that is 12%, 12%, 12%. Fine. And the P is nothing but net proceeds or market price. In the case of dividend yield method, we take it to mean as market price for the listed company, but for the unlisted, P stands for the net proceeds. Now here, since the preference shares, they are not usually traded in the stock exchanges or they are not traded like equity shares, we have to take only the net proceeds. Net proceeds are ascertained after deducting the issue expenses. Now here P stands for the net proceeds. For the first case at par, they are redeemed or at par in the sense the face value, okay, so that is 100 at par, and issued at par in the sense 100 only, and at a discount of 10% means 100 into 10%, so we'll be having 90, okay, 90. So that is the net proceeds. And in the case of premium, okay, 20% premium in the sense 100 is the face value into 20%, so we'll be getting 120. So that will be the net proceed. So the cost of preference shares will be, for the first case, 12 divided by 100 into 100, will be getting 12%. For the second case, 12 divided by 90, here 90 is after discounting, okay, issued at discount after discounting, 13.33%. And for the third case, 12 divided by 120, here 120 is the premium, okay, into 100, will be getting 10%. So this is about the solution of the first problem. Now let us consider another problem. On July 1st, 2005, Financial Maverick Limited issued 1 lakh preference shares of rupees 10 each at a discount of 20%. The dividend was payable at 14%. The share issue expenses amounted to 15% of face value of the share. Calculate the cost of preference shares. Now here D is fixed. In the case of preference shares, D is always fixed. Okay, so there is no variation in the case of D. D is nothing but the dividend per share. So it is usually fixed at 14%. Okay, and D must be calculated on the face value of share. So 10 into 14% means we will be getting 1.40. Okay, so there will be no fluctuations or variations in the case of D because the rate of dividend always fixed. But we'll face a problem in calculating the net proceeds, that is P value. So in the case of cost of preferences, always we face problem in calculating the P value, that is net proceeds. Now here in the case of this problem, the face value is 10 rupees per share, okay, but they are issuing at a discount of 20%, that must be considered. And again, they have given issue expenses, that amounts to 15% of the face value. Now face value is 10 rupees per share, okay. Now this issue expenses must be calculated on the face value, that is on 10 rupees, 15% we have to calculate. And again, discount of 20% must be calculated again on 10 rupees. So P value, that is net proceeds, will be face value minus discount of 20% minus discount of minus issue expenses of 15% of 10 rupees. Okay, now in the problem they have given discount of 20%, but while solving they have taken 10% of rupees 10 as discount. So let us assume this 10% only, okay, this 20% is there, no, so let us consider it as 10% only, because in the solution they have taken 10% of 10. Okay, there could be some errors, typing errors, okay, let it be. Now 10% of 10 means we'll be getting rupee 1, and 15% of 10 means we'll be getting 1 rupee 50 paisa. So the total issue expenses will be 2 rupees 50 paisa, and the P value will be rupees 7 rupees 50 paisa. So cost of preference share is D divided by P into 100. 1.40 divided by 7.50 into 100 will be getting 18.50. 0.67%. So this is about the solution of this problem. Let us consider another problem. Now here the problem is like this. Zoom Tuck TV Limited issued convertible preference shares of rupees 100 each at a premium of rupees 400 per share. Dividend was payable at 15%. Okay, the rate of dividend is given 15%. And remember, the dividend must be calculated on the face value, okay, not on premium, not on discount. So anything which is extra, so that must be ignored. Only face value into the rate of dividend must be considered. The floating expenses of the shares amounts to 10% of the issue price. Calculate the cost of preference shares. Okay, now as I've already said, the D remains fixed. There won't be any variations in D. So face value 100 and the dividend payable at 15%. They have given 100 into 15% means we'll be getting 15 rupees as dividend. Now we face problem only in the case of computing P value. Now P value is easily can be calculated. Face value is known 100 rupees. Premium is known 400 rupees per share. So 100 plus 400 will be getting 500 rupees. Okay. Now the floating expenses they have given 10% of the issue price. Now issue price is different and the face value is different. Issue price, face value plus share premium. Okay. Face value plus share premium altogether must be treated as issue price. So 400 plus 100, 500 is the issue price. And since in the problem they have given issue expenses would be 10% of issue price. That means 500 into 10%. So we'll be getting 50 rupees as issue expenses, nothing but floating expenses. So 500 minus 50 will be getting rupees 450. That is the P value or net proceeds. Now we have all the information. We have to just fit this information to the formula. Okay, 15 divided by 450 into 100 will be getting 3.33% as cost of preferences. Okay, now this is about the solution. Let us consider another problem for the discussion. Normal Operations Limited issued 1 lakh preference shares for a net amount of rupees 45 lakh. Dividend payable on these shares amounts to rupees 8 lakh per annum. The total share issue expenses amounts to rupees 3 lakh. Calculate cost of preference shares. Now this problem is a bit different than that of previous problems, because in the previous problems all the information, so whatever they have given, that belongs to per share, but here they have given total amount. By considering total amount, we are supposed to calculate the cost of preference shares. Okay, now dividend per annum they have given, that is total amount, that is 8 lakh per annum. Okay, per preference shares dividend they have not given. They have given total preferential dividend, so that amounts to 8 lakh. As it is, we can consider 8 lakh, and the total amount of issue of preference shares they have given rupees 45 lakh. From 45 lakh we can easily deduct the issue expenses 3 lakh, right? So 8 lakh divided by 45 lakh minus 3 lakh means 42 lakh into 100. We will be getting 19.05% as a cost of preference shares. Now let us consider another problem. A company issues 10,000 10% preference shares of rupees 100 each, redeemable after 10 years at a premium of 5%. The cost of issue is rupees 2 per share. Calculate the cost. Okay, now this problem belongs to the second type of computation of cost of preference shares, that is cost of redeemable preference shares. So this we'll discuss in the next session. Okay, I think for today's session this is sufficient. I'm going to wind up this session here itself, and this problem I'll be solving in the next session. So before solving this problem, I need to explain about the formula. and explain about certain things of redeemable preferences. Only after explaining such things, we can forward to solve the problems on redeemable preferences. Okay, we'll see you in the next session. Thank you.